Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to do the timing belt, water pump, and valve cover gaskets in this Lexus IS300 with a 2JZ-GE engine. So stay tuned. Well, half of the reason we're doing this vehicle here is it is absolutely just pouring oil. You can see it's been leaking very badly for quite a long time. So let's get at it. Underneath the vehicle, let's get the coolant draining, open the drain plug right here and get it going. This vehicle had a little bit of a cold air intake on it, so quickly going to remove that. If you have a stock air box, go ahead, remove your air box and let's get that out of the way. Let's get the fan assembly and radiator out. Go ahead, remove the drain plug, remove the upper radiator hose and any connections that you see up here. There's a small hose, electrical connector, get all those out of the way. We're going to need to remove these 3 bolts right here, and there's going to be 3 like that on the bottom as well. Down underneath, there's going to be a few things. The bolts, the transcooler lines, the hose, and an electrical connector. Get those out of the way. And let's keep going. Go ahead and remove the fan, but be very careful, it's quite tight. Now that we have a bit of room, let's move on. Go ahead and remove this upper cover. Next, we're going to have to remove the throttle body and upper plenum. I've decided not to show this whole part. It's just going to be too long, and in reality, it's not the hardest part. If you're going to be doing a timing belt job, you should be able to tackle this. Just go ahead, take the time, look for all the cables, connectors, and bolts. Take the time, you'll find it, you'll get this undone. Just go ahead, remove it all, and let's get that out of the way, and we'll just move on from there. All in all, this comes off quite easily. The only tricky part is right in there. There's a little bit, 2 little vacuum lines that are, kind of hard to get to with your fingers. You need a little bit of a screwdriver or pry bar, but no big deal. I'm sure you'll be able to get them off. With that upper piece of plenum removed, you can see everything that's exposed. Obviously, we got, the electrical connectors and the vacuum lines there that were connected. You'll definitely gonna fight through those a little bit, but really not big of a deal. A little bit short. That's the only hard part about it. But we got that out of the way. Next, we're gonna have to go ahead and remove all the ignition coils and wires, so we can start to undo all of the bolts for the valve covers there. All right, let's go ahead and remove the harness for the ignition coils. We're gonna remove the ignition coils themselves, and of course the spark plug wires. That will give us plenty of access. We'll be able to remove the bolts for the cam covers, and we can clean up that area. This one's been leaking for quite a long time, so all in the spark plug tube holes is full of oil. We need to clean that area out. Let's go ahead and remove that radiator. We've removed the hoses earlier. Pull these 2 brackets out and pull it out of the way in its nice safe place. Off to the front of the engine. Let's crack these water pump nuts before we take the belt off. Just helps it hang on better. Then we're going to go ahead and loosen the power steering nut. Got a wedge in there just to hold it tight, and go ahead and relieve the belt tensioner. Now's a good time. Let's double check the belt. Make sure there's no cracking on it. If so, it's time to replace that belt. Now we'll completely remove the nuts on the water pump pulley. Then we'll go ahead and remove the power steering pulley as well. There's going to be 3 bolts here for this upper timing cover. Then we're going to go ahead and need to remove the 3 bolts for the belt tensioner. Before we remove anything else, we're going to need to set the engine on top dead center. The marks on this engine were completely covered in oily muck, so we'll go ahead, let's clean that out so we can see exactly what we're doing, and we're looking for the 0-degree mark. Once we've found that, we're going to rotate the motor clockwise until we get the mark to line up with the 0 position. So the camshaft spin 2 to 1 to the crank, so it is possible to be at 0 and have your marks on the wrong side. Here you can see the marks are on the top and they line up with the little bump on the back of the cover. Unfortunately, here's where you may run into an issue, and even I did. I did not have the special tool to hold the crank pulley so we could remove the bolt. My air tool or my air gun, it did not fit in between the distance between there and the condenser. So unfortunately, I had to remove the condenser. Now this is something that I think you're not going to be able to do at home unless you have someone who can evac and recharge your AC system for you. So after I ended up by removing the AC condenser, now I have enough room to get my gun in there. So I went ahead, removed the bolt, and then we went and got a grip bolt puller and pulled the pulley off. It wasn't really all that tight. I probably could have managed this with a couple of pry bars. If you're not planning on doing your camshaft seals, you do not need to remove the cam cover or valve cover. At this point, we can go ahead and remove all of the bolts for the cover and just slip it out underneath the wiring harness. With the covers removed, go ahead and just place a couple of rags over the camshaft, protect anything from falling in there. With the cover off, we can access the camshaft. We need a large wrench to hold the camshaft right here. This way we can undo the lock cover and the hold down bolt of the cam timer. So I've just loosened the plug or the cover for the cam timer. This way we can access the bolt. I'm just rocking the camshaft back a few degrees to get some of the oil out of the cam timer. We'll just spin this plug off and be aware some oil will come out. Not to be worried, it's not a big deal. With that little cover plug removed, we have access to the main bolt. This will take a little bit of effort, but it's not too tight. Just hold the wrench really tightly and use your bar and crack that bolt loose in the center. Now we'll need to remove the cam bolt for the other pulley. Here I have a device that I'm using just to hold the pulley, and we'll crack that nut loose as well. On that last step, I did not remove any of those bolts. I just loosened them for the time being until we get the belt tensioner off and this cover and the belt off. Then we'll remove those bolts. Now, in order to remove this cover, the timing belt tensioner goes through the cover, so we need to remove the tensioner first. There's two bolts that go vertically up to it. These ones it was greasy. They were just caked in muck. So I got an extension and a wobble and just went up there and removed the two bolts, and we're going to remove the tensioner straight down so we can remove that cover. With that tensioner out of the way, we're almost ready to remove the cover. Just quickly move this bracket out of the way first, then we can get the timing cover removed. Well, finally everything's out of the way. We can go ahead and remove that timing belt, and then we can go ahead and take the cam pulleys off. Just put them separated out of the way. You'll notice that the cam timer, I'm going to show you here, it is keywayed at the back. So when you do go to and reinstall it, we got to make sure that we line that up correctly, and it'll safely go into its position and we're not going to damage anything. Remove the rear timing cover, then we can finally access the camshaft seals for replacement. Alright, one of the last things we do before we give this thing a good clean, let's go ahead and remove the idler pulley for the belt. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to give this thing a good clean. So I'm just using a brush and some solvent, and then I'm going to spray it down really well with some brake clean. Then we're going to go ahead and start working on the water pump and changing out the gaskets here. Now onto the water pump. Now, sorry I didn't exactly choose the best angle here, so you can't quite see everything. First, we're going to go ahead and remove this elbow here from the water pump to the cylinder head. After that, there's a few bolts on the front of the water pump, obviously, and some electrical connectors around the back, and then there's a bypass pipe at the back, and I'll quickly show you that there. So if you make it this far, this part really isn't all that hard. Let's just go ahead and unbolt this, and we're going to replace it as well at the same time. Here's a quick look at that bypass pipe. Make sure you don't forget to undo these two, or you're just not going to get it off, obviously. Now that it's all completely unbolted, let's go ahead, just remove the pump and get rid of it. We're going to replace that whole assembly. With the pump out of the way, we have a few surfaces that we need to prep for new gaskets. So let's just take some time here, use some scrapers, whatever you need, some sandpaper. Let's prep these surfaces, make them perfect. That way they'll accept the new gaskets and we'll have no troubles down the road. Now that we got the water pump on the bench, a couple of things we need to reuse. This thermostat housing and this bypass pipe. We want to replace the O-rings on that as well. We'll take our cleaned up thermostat housing, we'll add a new thermostat and gasket and get that bolted onto the water pump and get ready to install this whole assembly. It's all clean. Let's get some new gaskets on here and get ready. We're going to bolt in this new water pump right away. Make sure when you're installing your water pump that you don't knock that O-ring off. It was held in there pretty good, but it would be a lot of work to have to go back just for such a simple thing. For this bypass neck, we're going to replace all the O-rings, of course, and make sure we coat them really well in dielectric grease or rubber grease essentially, and get that tightened on, and we'll move on to the next step. At this point, you can go ahead and basically reattach everything that was onto the back of the water pump. A couple of harnesses there, the hoses, and that bypass connector at the back. Make sure get all that back and tightened on. Okay, so now this next part is very tricky and something where you could potentially cause damage. You need to be very careful. We're going to replace out these cam seals. So it's hard to see here, but what you need to do is get some screwdrivers or something and find a way to pry out the cam seal without damaging the cam surface. If you put any nicks or scratches into that, it will leak. It will damage the cam surface and it's just not going to seal properly. So you need to go very slowly, very cautiously here and go ahead and remove those out. Once they're out, just give them a very nice clean wipe. You can put some rubber grease on the inner part of your cam seal and just tap them in place, and you know, we're all done and ready to go. Next, we'll do the crankshaft seal in the exact same manner. Like I said, be careful, clean it, lubricate it, and tap in a new one. You're ready to go. Go ahead and slide the crank gear back on. Then we'll put the belt idler. I'm going to tighten that up. When it is tight, it is supposed to move side to side, obviously, because it's supposed to flex with the belt. Then we'll go ahead and install the upper rear timing cover. Here I'm just going to be putting the cam gears back on. Make sure they're lined up correctly on their keyway, and we're just going to finger tighten the bolts and get them into position. A couple of them weren't exactly in the right position, so I just quickly bumped them into place, and the same thing here with the crank. I put a bolt in the end just so I could slightly rotate it just a couple of teeth over, and I'll show you exactly where the marks were. So you can see here on the crank we have the dot, and then we have a dot on the rear cover. You can see that that tooth lines up directly with that mark, so we know we're in position there, no problem. For the two cam gears, it's pretty simple. Same thing with the mark. We run it along back. You can see that the bump in the rear timing cover basically bang on. And for the same one for this one here as well. So we know we're in time. Our cams are set. Our crank is set. We can go ahead and get ready to put the belt on. When installing the belt, I always put the slack all to the adjuster side or the idler side. So you can see I'm kind of pulling the tension on that side and making sure I'm keeping tension and keeping it snug. And then we want all that slack to be there on the idler side. Make sure before you slip on your lower timing cover that you put that belt retaining collar on. I've seen people forget that. Then you got to pull it all back apart just to get that back in there, because you definitely need it. So let's go ahead and get that cover tightened up and we're ready to go. Now we can finally install the timing belt tensioner. So when you buy a new tensioner, they come in the locked into basically the closed position, so with no tension on them. We're going to go ahead, install it, get the bolts in there, and then when we're ready, we can release the pin, and that applies the tensioner to the idler and tensions the belt. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and tighten both of the cam gears down. Unfortunately, I don't have a torque spec for you. Maybe I can link it into the description. But yeah, let's get these both tightened down and then put that cap back on to the cam so it's not going to leak any oil there. And we're going to go ahead and place the crank pulley balancer back on. Get that nut nice and tight as well. And we're going to rotate the engine clockwise. And then once we've done that, we can reconfirm that we're at 0 and both the cam gears are lined up correctly. Well, if you've made it this far, you probably don't need a step-by-step on how to reassemble the rest. So just go ahead and, go in reverse order and let's get everything reinstalled on the front, radiator, fan, and any other parts. And then one of the last things we need to do is get those valve covers on. So take those off, remove all the bolts there, obviously clean the surfaces really well, replace the gaskets. We're going to put a little bit of silicone in the corners there, get those on and off. This part is be really simple. You've made it this far, you'll be perfectly fine. Just make sure you take the time, clean it up very nice. Alright, so we got some fresh clean fluids in this thing and it's up and running again. So here's the finished product. all back together. I mean, it made a world of a difference for this car. It was just an oily mess under the hood. Now it's all fresh and clean. New gaskets, new timing belt, water pump, valve cover gaskets, thermostat housing. Put some new life back into this ride. So I really hope this video helps someone out. If you get any use out of this, please consider liking the video, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.